Hi, happy Tuesday. So, really quick, this was supposed to be a part two video of my last video about body love and how that can create better sex with your partner. But the more I thought about what I wanted to say, what I thought was important around this subject, a few things came up for me. Well, the first thing was I realized that I was kind of jumping the gun a little bit. There are, in my humble opinion, so many important steps that come before having that conversation of having better sex or even sex with your partner at all. And two, it would, in my mind, I feel like it would be a disservice to you if I just started talking about having better sex with your partner when A, maybe you're not having sex with your partner, two, you're not ready to have sex with your partner because you feel so disconnected and shut down in your body, and three, you aren't even in your body enough to feel safe to surrender to the point of enjoying the pleasures of receiving a yummy sexual experience with your partner. And so I really wanted to dive in more about if you're in a place with your body, in the relationship with your body, where you're like, I'm numb, I'm disconnected, I like don't feel good in my body. In fact, I don't like my body. Like, how do you begin to heal that relationship? How do you begin to um, how do you begin to build a loving relationship that's full of trust, that's full of safety, and that's filled with healing, so you can get to a point in your relationship with your partner where you can surrender and enjoy sex with them. So, this video will focus more on how do you heal and how do you create a more loving relationship with your body. Where do you begin? So I kind of touched on this a little bit in part one of the video, of my first video, but I kind of wanted to dive a little deeper into what that process might look like and what could you possibly even do today, right now, to start healing that relationship to your body. So, the first thing that came up to me was honoring where you are in your journey right now. A lot of it's so easy to look at other people and say, well, that's not me. I can't do that. Like, that's, you know, like that looks too hard. Oh, she's just happy. That's just who she is. Like, or she can't possibly be that happy or that in her body. And we create these stories around like why we can't have it or why it doesn't really exist or why someone else is faking it, because that's what we do when we don't really truly understand something. Instead of just being like, this is where I am in my journey and my process, and I'm okay with that. And accepting it and just being like, okay, if you feel shut down and you feel numb, honor it. If you feel disconnected, honor that. If you feel like, you know, sex is the last thing that you want to worry about, and pleasure and like orgasms and all that stuff is not even like on your radar, honor that too. Believe me, I have been there so many times where I'm just like, is this really important? Like, is my orgasm really that important? And you know what? At that point, you just have to be like, okay, this is where I am. And I invite you to really look at that. Like, really look at where you are and start by telling yourself the truth. Because once you understand the truth of, how you're feeling about your body, how you feel about being sexual in your body, how you feel when you look in the mirror, how you feel when you touch your body, how you feel when your partner touches your body, and really explore that and excavate it, then you start to understand where you truly are. When I started this work, I had to come to terms that I was numb. I was completely like basically, to put it, I was dead inside. Like, I felt dead. There was nothing flowing through my body. I didn't feel anything. And that was really, really hard for me to face, that I felt this way, because for a long time, especially when I was younger, I like prided myself on being like this juicy, yummy, like sexual being. And now all of a sudden, everything was just like shut off. I'm like, how in the hell did I get to this place? But when I accepted that I was there, when I was like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, I knew where to begin. I knew where to start. That was my starting point. Okay, I feel shut down and I feel numb. Cool. Where do I go from there? And once you know where your baseline is, like where you're beginning, you're able to come up with a game plan. You're able to be like, all right. And believe me, so many things will come up. I'm not going to lie. You might feel sad. You might feel relief. You might feel grief. You might feel nothing. And all of that is a-okay. Just sit with it and be like, okay, this is where I am. And then start to think about, like, what do you want? What do you want? Even if it's like, I want to feel safe in my body again. Or it's, what I really want is to feel like, I want to feel something. It could be even as simple as like, I want to enjoy being in my body. I want to, like, that's what I want. Then you understand, okay, where I am is I'm disconnected, shut off, and a little numb, or just feeling completely dead. That's okay. And then the next one is, all right, but this is how I want to feel. This is how I would desire to feel in my body, or an emotion I'd like to experience. You could be like, I would love to experience joy. I would love to experience happiness. I would love to experience bliss. Or it could just be like, I would love to experience just being okay. And then you can start to build from there. So the first step, in my opinion, to creating a healthy relationship, to healing your relationship with your body and also how you're feeling in your body, is to tell yourself the truth. And I'm like, it's so simple. It's actually one of the hardest steps, because we lie to ourselves every day. We lie to our friends, our families, about like what's really up for us, right? Like, people are like, oh, how are you doing? What's going on? And you're like, we're fine, I'm great. Oh, everything is so good. Deep down, we're like crumbling and being like, oh, I feel awful. Like I can't feel any more awful than I already feel. And that's okay. That's okay. But you don't have to tell people like what's going on. You don't have to tell people like, I feel numb and shut down. That's no one's business but yours. It is up to you to tell yourself the truth and start there. The healing starts there. And then next, the healing starts with feeling, or even starting the process to feel. And so we will explore what that looks like. Like once we know, okay, I'm numb, I'm shut down, I'm disconnected, but I desire to feel safe, joy, bliss, okay. How do we begin to explore what's really going on in our bodies, how we're feeling in our bodies? So that will be in my next video. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited that I kind of caught myself and was like, pump the brakes, Casey, one step at a time, and just taking it super slow and luscious and delicious. Ugh. So excited. And I can't wait to share more with you.